Welcome back to another episode of Ruthless TV, where I break down Tyler Perry's hit cable series Ruthless scene by scene. Now let's get into this review. Today I'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 8, Small Little Lies. The scene opens with Daikon and Ruth, with Daikon basically forcing Ruth to look at the escapees, and then he asks her, do you still think that I'm a good man, with all this that I'm doing? And Ruth is like, well, I know that you're carrying out the will of the Raku, and that you have to protect us, and that you have to protect the highest. And then Ruth looks down at the escapees and she starts to cry. And then Daikon is asking her, why the tears then? And then Ruth tells him, I still have compassion, don't you? And Daikon is like, no, I don't have compassion for escapees and people, trying to go against us. So he then asks Ruth, what's your angle? Then Ruth basically tells him that I've been sent to love you. And Daikon isn't really falling for it. He's like, well, you're a temptress and you're sent here to tempt me, and doesn't want her to come too close. Then Ruth asks him, let's go for a walk in the woods so that we can talk freely. I think that Ruth just didn't want to be standing over dead bodies trying to turn Daikon on, because that's a little creepy, don't you think? By this time, we see Dirty Melinda peeking around the corner, and then she took off running when she saw that Daikon had spotted her. And then Daikon took off right after her, and he caught up with her and asked her, look, what are you doing out here? And she said that she was coming to use the bathroom. And then Ruth stepped up behind him and said, no, she's lying, because she has a chamber pot. So he kind of found out that Melinda was bunking with Ruth and started to question Melinda. And it did. Listen, if you want something done, don't include Melinda, because she's going to give you up and give you up fast. It didn't take her long at all to give all the information to Daikon. Daikon asked her, what are you doing out here? And she admitted that Elder Mother told her to follow Ruth, but she didn't know why. She admitted to Daikon that she was on assignment and that she was sent to flirt with Deputy Polk. And then Daikon asked her, did you have sex with him? And she said yes, that she had to. And it was at this point where Daikon took her by the shoulders and said, look, we're going to go and see Elder Mother. They went to her trailer and woke her up. Then Daikon told Elder Mother that Melinda was ruined now because she had sex with Deputy Polk. Then Elder Mother said that the highest told her to do whatever she needed to do, and told Daikon he needs to grow up. Then Daikon called her an old woman, and he said, I run this compound. Woohoo! He was really pissed off with Elder Mother. Really going off on her. And then he told her that Melinda should not be in the room with Ruth because she's an elder. Then Daikon asks her, why is she tracking Ruth? Then Elder Mother didn't really answer him. She just told Melinda to go to bed. Then they kind of went back and forth on if Dirty Melinda should go to bed or not. And then she finally turns to walk away to go back to her cabin. And guess who's calling on the phone? It's wrong place, wrong time, bro. It's Deputy Polk. So the phone is ringing and Daikon turns around and he says, wait a minute, she has a cell phone? Then he demanded Dirty Melinda to give him the phone, and Elder Mother said no, just put it on speaker. So she put the call on speaker, and Deputy Polk is, all into his feelings. Oh, I miss you. Are you okay? Then she says that she misses him too, and that she'll see him in the morning. Then Elder Mother is basically telling Daikon that they have a road into the sheriff's station, and then Daikon said, I have a road into the sheriff's station. And then Elder Mother said, well, do you have a vagina, Daikon? Then at this point, Daikon went ahead and released Melinda to go to bed, because he's like, okay, Elder Mother's tripping. Let me get rid of this girl because she going off on me right now. Then Daikon took the phone from her, and she went ahead and went to bed. And then Daikon is basically going back and forth with Elder Mother, saying that, this girl could call anybody at any time. And then Elder Mother reassures him that she's a loyalist and she doesn't have to worry about her. And then they both agree that they will talk to the highest in the morning. And then Daikon lets out this scream of frustration as he's on his way back to his trailer. Then we cut to the three blind mice, Paula, Zane, and Lacey. They all hear Daikon belt out this scream, and they ask, what was that? And then they said, I don't know. It could be someone trying to leave. They're so bent on leaving. Oh my gosh, they're obsessed with it. They're just thinking everybody's trying to leave at this point. So then Lacey, sorry. Then Lacey, I can't say her name. Lacey said that it sounds like Daikon, and then Paula said that Daikon was crazy. Then they all start to reminisce about what they're going to do when they get out. They start this fantasy. Oh, I just want a toilet. I want some running bath water. The simple things in life, right? And then Paula says that she wants to see her mom, and she shared that her mom sent her Bible scriptures when she told her that she was going to come to the compound, and her mom told her to beware of false prophets. And this is actually the emblem that I put on the t-shirts, guys, and I'll leave a link right here so you can check it out. But anyway, they're free, so sign up, comment, do what you got to do to get one, okay? Then she said that her mom told her that she was going to pray for her until she came back home. Then Zane said she needs to be praying for her husband because he raped you. And I'm not laughing at the rape. I'm just saying how she just chimed in all of a sudden. Then Lacey kind of shared her rape story with them, saying that she will never forget it. It's something that she just can't forget about. And then Zane chimed in once again and said that the rapes only happened once, which is very interesting here. So it lets us know that they've both been through it. Paula and Zane have all been through the rape. And just recently, Lacey went through the rape, and then she was just letting her know that it only happens once. Then they want to know why Zane doesn't leave, and Paula simply says that she's too afraid to. Then they got Lacey sounding like the runaway slave on this one. She goes, "It's gonna be daylight soon." They suddenly develop this whole new dialect for some scenes. It's very interesting. Then she says that they really need to go that night because they'll be looking for Lilo's car in the morning, and Oliver still doesn't know that Lacey has the keys. And then Paula said, let's just go in a little while, and they all agreed. So Dirty Melinda goes back to her trailer. I guess she's tired now. She needs to get some rest. And as soon as she hits the corner by the bathroom, bam, there's Ruth. So Ruth says, "So you were sent here to spy on me?" And Melinda said, "Don't start." Ruth said, "I'll beat you." She said, "I'll beat your sass up in here." Then Ruth asks her, what did you see and hear? And she said nothing. And then Ruth basically frightened her with the story of the dead escapees. And then she shared something with her, and she said, you remind me of me when I was your age. And Melinda said that the compound was wonderful and beautiful, and that the Raku would never treat people that way. Then we cut to River and Andrew's trailer, and River standing outside. Andrew comes out, and then River says, it's really strange that we've shared, that we're, trailer mates, and we barely even talk to each other. Then Andrew is like, brother, I am not in the mood for the chit chat right now, okay? Then River tells him that it's hard for people living on top of each other and dying under houses. And then he said some people died in the summer from, trying to stay cool. Then River gives him this smirk, and then he walks off. I just wish we had a little bit more insight on who the heck River is, because clearly he knows more than people think that he knows, and he lets you know that he knows more than you think he knows. So he's playing these mind games, just like Ruth told us a couple of episodes ago. She said that River likes to play mind games. Then we see baby Tiger poking around in the kitchen. It's Elder Mother, and she looks into the refrigerator and pulls out what looks to be like moonshine after she had this tongue-tussling war with Daikon. I guess she just needed something to calm her nerves. Then Elder Mother Agnes pops onto the scene, and she wants to know what Elder Mother is doing out so late in the kitchen in the refrigerator. And then Elder Mother was like, probably the same thing that you're doing. Then Elder Mother Agnes goes on to tell her about the Elder Mother who was in the Ray trailer, and then I'll leave a link to that video, because now we know who was in the red trailer. We never met this Elder Mother, but at least we know that it's not either of those two. And she said that Elder Mother was punished and demoted, and that she's been in the punishment trailer since it happened. Then Marva compliments Tally and says that she's been on her best behavior. And then Elder Mother was like, well, just give it time, because Tally needs to be watched. She told Elder Mother Marva that she was going over to talk to the highest and to not touch her fermented applesauce, or aka moonshine. Then we cut back to River and Andrew. Andrew grabs River from his room and starts to question him and said, why are you all of a sudden talking to me so much? And then Andrew asked him about his government name, and River says that he's fully loyal to the highest. Then Andrew tells him that there were defectors all around there and to not keep playing with him because he's not so nice all the time. Then Andrew asked him, why do you watch me all the time while I'm asleep? And then River says, well, how do you know that I'm watching you while you're asleep? And Andrew said, well, I have eyes in the back of my head. And then River says, well, I do too, and thinks that Andrew is just paranoid. Then Elder Mother finally makes it over to the highest trailer, and then Clark is standing outside guarding the trailer, and she walks up on him and says that she needs to speak to the highest, and then she calls him a little liar. And he said, well, why do you call me that? And then she mentioned the incident where she had him hemmed up in the trailer because he told Daikon, and then Clark said that he didn't tell Daikon the truth. And I guess we just have to see what this truth is, because she's calling him a liar and he said that he didn't tell Daikon the truth. So what is the truth? I guess we'll have to wait to see. Then Elder Mother goes into the bedroom of the highest like she's walking into the principal's office at school. I mean, they're walking around like 10-year-olds, really like, I'm going to tell on you, I'm going to tell on you, I'm going to tell on you. But anyway, she walks in and the highest is all cool, calm, and collective. I guess he's had his hit of whatever it is, for whatever the flavor is for the day. But anyway, she walks in and tells him that Daikon is being very disrespectful to her and that he's not very nice to me. And then the highest was like, I'll take care of it. Then, Elder Mother is like, oh, well, thank you so much. And then he goes, go to the kitchen and get you something to calm down. Oh my gosh, he's like the chillest, the coolest at this point. So he didn't get all riled up. He just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll take care of it. Like he's Papa Bear. That's what I'm going to call him now, Papa Bear, because at this point, I really think that they really need his leadership. Not the leadership that he has, but some type of leadership, because they act like children, all of them. Then he tells Clark to send Daikon in. Then Baby Tiger makes her way back to the kitchen, and she told Agnes at the highest, told her to get something to calm her nerves. And then she accused Agnes of stealing a swig, a swig of her moonshine. And she said, well, yeah, I took a little bit. And then, she's continuing to drink it, like she keeps drinking it. And then Elder Mother says, are you gonna let me drink? These two old biddies right here, oh my gosh, I just love them to be around. They crack me up every time. Then Clark makes his way over to Daikon's trailer and told him that the highest wants to see him. And then Daikon asks Clark if Oliver has left, and he said yes, he has. And then Clark asks Daikon, have you told the highest? And then Daikon said no, not yet. And this is where everything is just blown out of proportion here. So I'm a bit confused, because one minute he trusts Andrew, then he doesn't trust Andrew, then he goes back to not trusting Andrew, and then it's like, it's so confusing. Like, either you're going to trust him or you're not. Let's be consistent here. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have Sheriff Conley, Deputy Polk, and Irene. Then Sheriff Conley is sitting here asking Deputy Polk about Melinda, and then he he was trying to play it off, and really not admit to anything. But he said, look, do you want me to fire you? And then he started to, let him in a little bit. Yeah, I like the girl. She was here. She was flirting with me. And then, we had sex or whatever. And Sheriff Conley was like, what are you, crazy? Are you stupid? Who do you think you are, Hugh Hefner or somebody? Like, things like that don't happen to guys like you. I also made reference to this in another video, and I'll leave a link in the description for that one if you want to check it out. Then Sheriff Conley just, went on telling him how stupid he was, and how delusional he was because he thought that a girl actually liked him. And then he excused himself, and Irene came in there, and she was left to talk to Poke. And then Poke wanted to know how the sheriff knew all this stuff. And then she even told him how many minutes he was passed out for. And then Poke calls Melinda, and she doesn't pick up the phone, but he did leave her a message to call back. Then Daikon makes it over to the highest trailer, and then the highest was asking him about the scream when he screamed earlier. And Daikon said, I'm just frustrated. And then the highest said that, I instructed Elder Mother to do everything, basically. So he's basically saying, if you got any issues, just come and see me, and to leave her alone. He said that he wanted peace, and he instructed Daikon to stop calling her by her government name. Stop calling her Marva. Then Daikon switched up a little bit. He said, can I lay with you? And the highest said, no, not tonight. And I guess Ruth has straightened him up a little bit because he don't even want to lay with Daikon. Daikon is his main guy, and he doesn't even want to sleep with him at this point. And Daikon thinks that it's River, and he thinks that River is replacing him. And then he wants to know why. And then the highest was like, I had a long day. And then the highest said that Daikon owed him one because he tricked him with the boy. And he said that it didn't work, and that Andrew was with them, and that he was not an undercover agent. So hopefully this was enough to satisfy Daikon's suspicion of Andrew, and that he'll call everything else off. And the highest was like, if he killed his wife and he killed William, we have to believe him. Like, we just need to leave him alone. But Daikon had a bit of trouble trying to believe that Andrew actually killed William. He asked for permission for Andrew to show him, and then the highest agreed. Then we have short bus rider number 2, Musty Yancey. Musty Yancey is pulling up on Tally like while she's asleep. He's telling her, look, you're going to come out to this bus. You don't have many cars to play with, and I'm trying to tell you what they're trying to do with your daughter. Then Tally just gives up the ghost. She doesn't really care anymore, and she lets out this scream, and then it wakes Joan up. And then Joan says, oh my gosh, are you okay? And then Tally tells her that she's having a nightmare, and then Joan is like, I'm sorry. Then she says that Tally has a lot of nightmares, and then she shared with Tally that she has 2 children on the compound, ages 8 and 6. She said that they don't even know her, which is a waste because Joan was planning to leave with those other escapees, and she never mentioned any kids, any children at all. And so she birthed these children probably more than likely there at the compound, and she just, I guess, forgotten about them. I mean, they don't even know her, so I don't know. That's just something that I would be devastated. I wouldn't even be able to do that at all. I'm sure that most of us wouldn't, right? Then we move to the final scene where Daikon goes to Andrew's trailer, and he tells him, look, did you kill someone today? And then Andrew, at this point, of course, admitted to him that he did kill him. And of course, he wants to know why. And Andrew said that the boy was saying bad things about the highest. And Daikon was like, well, why do you bring him to me? And I think that Daikon, his ego has been bruised, for quite some time. People going over his head and doing things without letting him know. And Andrew went on to say that he tried to escape by running. And then Daikon was like, well, he wouldn't have gotten that far. And Andrew said, well, I was really angry. It was a spur of the moment thing. Then Daikon told him to show him the way, let him see the body, let him know where he is. And Andrew walked him over to the trailer. And then Daikon looked under the trailer, and then he told Andrew to look, and he said, look, he basically forced him to look, and Andrew said that he didn't want to see the boy. But because Daikon kept pushing him to look, he did look under the trailer, and then the scene went off. It ended right there. And I just think that the body has been moved. That would be the shock value here. I just think that someone has moved the body, probably River, who knows, since he knows everything. I'm not really sure, but that concludes this episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, Season 2, Episode 8. Small Little Lies. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Liking the video places this video and others like it in front of people, other Ruthless fans who may not have had an opportunity to watch the show. So a like would be great, a subscription would be great. So go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.